You know, I'm definitely watching too much YouTube videos, and a lot of them are about film photography. And when you're starting out film photography, the first thing you have to find is first your camera. I mean, that's quite important. The second thing is, and probably the most important, is film stocks. Finding out a good film stock or film stocks that fit your style and are not too expensive, like Portra 800. It kind of is hard, you know, these days. So come along for the ride. There's some good stuff. So, the first film stock that I've been shooting that was color is basically Kodak Vision 3. In Paris you can get the Nasron Photo 250D, which is quite amazing, and if you have a lot of chance you can sometimes get the 500T, which is also pretty good. I'm gonna leave some examples here. This is incredibly easy to shoot. For the 250D you put ISO 200 on your camera and 400 on the 500T. The colors are very, I would say, cinematic. It is cheap. If you have a ECN2 compatible lab that can process these. Silbasals also makes this Vision 3 film stock, and I believe there's some other ones available in the US. This is cheap. If you want to get cheap color, this is pretty amazing. If you want to take your time and have the luck to find some cheap Kodak, I have some great examples for you. Color Plus, it's quite amazing as well. People are not gonna like it that much because it has a lot of saturation, but it's cheap. If you can get some, it's pretty cheap. My favorite one is definitely one that I've been emptying my fridge. It's Ultramax. Ultramax is definitely a film stock that you want to try. It is vibrant, it is ISO 400, so it basically does everything. It is the film look that people want, basically. Unless you go Portra. I'm not recommending Portra, even though I may have some here, because Portra is now super expensive. You're not gonna find Portra at anything less than 20 euros the roll. And in dollars, I don't think it's that cheap either. I like to shoot Portra. You're gonna see a ton of people on Instagram and YouTube shooting Portra, but it is so expensive, so it's not gonna be in my recommended list. What is gonna be in my recommended list is this Cinestill 400D. This is simply put amazing. This film stock is actually the same as in the Vision 3 stuff that you're gonna find that are ECN2 process. But what Cinestill does is they ask Kodak directly to remove the special layer that is in cinema films, so the remjet layer. This is processable in C41, so it's quite amazing. You can get it processed basically everywhere. And just like the 250Ds, this can take quite an abuse. You can basically overexpose it by a ton. You can push it a lot with quite a bit more saturation. 800T is being shot a lot on Instagram for its abilities to shoot in night photography, like cities and neons and stuff like this, and you're gonna see a lot of it because it's so good at it. What I don't like about Cinestill is the price. It's still quite expensive. It's less than 20 euros, but it's still more than 15. Considering it's just 250D or like Vision 3 and stuff like this, modified, it's quite expensive. Fujifilm 200. This stuff is very good. It's very good at skin and people and portraits. This is an absolutely fantastic film stock. It's quite neutral and the greens are beautifully done. That's why it's probably in a green packaging. This, awesome. Also, if you are in Paris or in France in general, you're gonna hear a lot about film washi. Filmwashi produces, for example, the X, the Filmwashi X, which I think I have in the fridge. I don't have it in here. It's just the same film stock as Centacolor, actually. Very special if you want to try something cool, and especially cheap if you want to try E6, for example, to have some positive pictures. You're gonna have a really good time with these. If you're going 120, the Lomography 800 is definitely the king of the hill for me. This thing is cheap, it is beautiful, and it is quite possibly one of the films that I've been abusing the most. This is definitely recommended. For Kodak, I don't recommend gold for one very specific reason, and it's that it's now expensive. And it's so expensive that it competes with Portra. This is not good. You don't want to pay Portra prices for gold. So I'm not shooting gold anymore. At the same level, I've been finding out that Ektar 100 is also really neat. I've been shooting some amazing pictures with this thing. If you want a fine-grained color film that is not too hard to shoot, Ektar 100 is definitely gonna push the limits a little bit more, and is gonna be a fantastic color option. As for black and white, I always recommend HP5. It's absolutely fantastic. You're gonna love HP5. You can push it to 800, 1600, even 3200 if you want. This is gonna be a film, black and white film, that it's gonna do everything you ask. HP4 is also quite amazing. So HP5 also goes here. So here we go. This is my recommendation. All this stuff is just experimentation. If you find this video helpful, if you find it irritating to your ears, please tell me. And I will see you in the next episode. And the clouds just came in, so I hope my explosion is too bad. Anyways, want to see some real nasty shit? There we go. I'm gonna film my current setup. This is the camera, and before that I was mounting my phone on a skateboard as if it was a tripod, and it just died. Yeah, quite a setup. I'm gonna be trying to improve that a little bit more in the next videos, I hope. Anyways, this is not Hugsy, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. See ya.